So, there's so many times like these technical leaders trying to work with their execs who just don't know, they don't understand the sort of the risk parameters of it. They don't understand how do they translate those ones and zeros into the dollars and cents of their business. And so because of that sort of lack of language or vocabulary, that's often one of the biggest barriers that leads to these kind of attacks, right? So having something that they can literally hand them and go, you know what, read this, it's written for you. This is for C-suites and board members and leaders to understand, what it's really like. What would it be? What would it look like if we actually faced, let's say like a ransomware shutdown or a massive data breach or an operational shutdown, and what's it going to cost, right? In terms of, money, time, brand, and so on. So one of the people I interviewed, she was a senior executive in a manufacturing firm that was shut down by a ransomware attack. And this is a few years ago. So it was Conti. They're kind of gone now, but
they've reemerged, right?
Yeah, exactly. And she said it was like operating, what did she say now? It was like operating as business as usual, except by candlelight. And, what they saw was that the systems that they had, they couldn't recover, right? They wanted to go for the green network. But in doing that, you suddenly realize that some of the legacy tech that you rely on as a core of your business isn't going to talk to the next generation stuff. So, suddenly you're moving from off-prem, Exchange onto Microsoft 365 and you're in the cloud and you're using Azure and you're realizing that these systems just won't talk. And in fact, for a long time, they operated sort of like, Noah's Ark, right? They had two of everything. They had the old system and they had the new system, and the old system was kind of firewalled off in its own world. And, the new one, they were literally doing like manual conversions and sort of translations because they're like I said, the old or could not talk to the new and vice versa. And suddenly you realize that regardless of whether you're the CFO or the CEO or whatever that title might be, you're all finding that every conversation is about technology at some point, right? And especially in our, I hate using these kind of cliches, but in a digital world, right? You think about our currency, the vast majority, 97% of our currency is moving as digital. And it's the same thing, right? Really, I think the new currency anyway is data.
This is 118
Why
proof.
would anybody do this?
They fall apart. They're the most tender.
It tastes like I just got pepper sprayed by a cop. No more questions. Are we done?